What's up, guys? Giancarlo Bodoni here again. I'm here today with my friend Ty, and today, guys, we're going to talk a little bit about back control. Okay, so if you guys been following me for a while, you know that I just recently filmed a couple of instructionals with BJJ Fanatics all about my back control gi and no gi. So it's my opinion, guys, that back control is pretty much, I think no gi, it's definitely the strongest finishing position, and with the gi it's pretty much head to head with the mount. Okay, and a lot of people would prefer the back. Okay, my personal preference is the back, both gi and no gi. And in my competitive career, the majority of my finishes so far have come from the back. Okay, so today I want to go over a situation from the back where we're on the underhook side and we trap the arm. Okay, it's a nice little series that I like to use, and I'm going to share it with you guys today. So before we go into the technique, guys, make sure that you give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and make sure you comment below whatever videos you guys want to see. Leave me your ideas down below, and if you have any questions on this video, please feel free to leave a comment in the comment section and share this video with your friends. All right, guys, so let's get into it. So I'm over here with Ty. I have the back, okay, and let's just scooch forward a little bit. So, and I get to the underhook side, okay? So this is gonna be specific to the underhook side, okay? And this is something we talk a lot about in the instructional, okay? Back control gi and back control no gi, okay? You guys can find that in the links below at bjfanatics.com. But what we're gonna talk about today, guys, is gonna be specific from the underhook side, okay? So when I get to the underhook side here, and we land just like so, okay? We're gonna look at a situation now where I trapped his top arm, okay? And once I get here, so I got a hold of the wrist, I go in and I start trapping that arm, okay? Once I have the arm trapped, guys, a lot of people typically struggle finishing the rear naked choke from this side, especially early, okay? And the reason what I see a lot of the times is it's a combination of a few elements of the back control that we lose, okay? As we know, and what we talk a lot about in the instructional is the control differences on both sides, okay? And especially for no-gi, a lot of times from the overhook side, it can be a little easier to finish the rear naked, okay? Versus on the underhook side, it can be a little easier to trap the arm, but a little bit harder to finish the rear naked, okay? You have this aspect of my opponent constantly trying to get their head to the floor, which would make it a little bit difficult because I don't have that arm underneath his neck as I do here, okay? Where I could still punch in a choke and finish from here, okay? So what are we gonna do to ensure that when I, just slide a little bit, when I get to the underhook side, I did a good job. However, I chose to trap my opponent's top arm, okay, over here to capture it, okay, and I cross my feet over here, and I have the wrist. How am I gonna ensure that I get this choke? Okay, once I got my hand in, guys, a lot of the times I see people get all the way in here, and as soon as they go to pull out the arm and bring the hand in, he puts the head on the floor, and I lose it, okay? And the reason for this is what's stopping his head to go to the floor when I have the underhook is my head position. Okay, the head position in the underhook side specifically is so important to prevent his escape. If I have my head far back and away, he's gonna put his head down every time. So I need to be cautious of bringing my head forward and into him. Now when he tries to put his head down, it's much harder because not only is my head directly under his, but it's pressuring into his head. But that's difficult to maintain when I go to pull this arm out. And that's why we lose that head, okay? So what I'm gonna show you guys is a very simple trick, but it's very, very, very efficient, and I use it all the time from the underhook side, okay? Super, super strong position. All I'm gonna do is that from here, I have his head, I have this arm controlled, he has no defensive hands, okay? Now I got my hand under the chin, okay? Or it could even be over the chin, okay? There's a variety of different variations of rear naked that I can finish here. I could try to finish a one-handed choke, Okay, but if he's not tapping to this and I really want to lock my hands and ensure that finish, again, if I pull my head away, he's gonna go down. So all I'm gonna do is I wanna be very careful with how I pull this arm out. Okay, I wanna make sure that this hand is hidden so it's nice and tight behind his shoulder, and my chin covers my hand to prevent this hand from coming in and grabbing my thumb. Okay, if my head's too far away, he can grab that. Okay, he might be able to peel it down. So I keep that nice and tight. I keep good head position. I'm pressing my head into his. Now, as I go to extract my arm, I do it nice and tight. I pull my arm out. Now notice my head's still in position, okay? My chin is forward. But from here, it can be hard for me to get the choke in. So all I'm gonna do is I have to bring my head back to a certain degree. So in order for me to do this without risking his head coming to the floor, I'm gonna place my fist right behind his ear, okay? Now what happens here? Now I can pull my head back, and when he tries to put his head on the floor, he can't, because there's a post that starts at my fist and ends with my elbow on the mat. So my entire forearm is now posted on the floor. Okay, so now when he goes to put his head down, it's super tough, it's posted, and that gives me time to punch the hand through and feed my fingers towards the bicep. So my hands come through, I punch the hand all the way across, and now my head can come forward again, and now I'm ready to start finishing. Okay, so one more time. Very simple detail, okay? It almost, like, it's something that it's hard to actually identify if you're just seeing it happen in a live situation, in a match or a roll, but it's very, very effective, okay? And if it's something that happens to you, if you lose the rear naked choke on the underhook side specifically because of this, this is gonna change it's gonna make your finishing much, much, much more high percentage, okay? So when I get over here, I have the seatbelt, I fall to the underhook side, I'm posted. However I chose to go ahead and trap the arm, I go ahead and do that, and I keep that secondary hand controlled, and I start digging my hand under the chin. I get it nice and deep. I did everything right so far, and now I have my hand covered by my chin. I'm ready to finish this guy. When I go to pull my arm out, don't move your head back and try to put the hand in, because he's gonna put his head down. We keep good head position. I move my arm back, and I keep my head tight, and then when it's time for me to move my head back to create that space, I place my fist right in his ear first, or right behind the ear actually, first. So now when he goes to put his head down, my elbow's running into the floor. He just tries to put just the head down. It's so hard for him, okay? And then now we can punch the hands in, keep my head nice and tight, and then from here, we can finish the choke. Okay, so that's just a very simple trick, okay? A very simple technique that has made my finishing from that side much, much better, okay? It's funny because when I first started training, the underhook side was considered the weak side, okay? But it's actually my preferred side to finish from, okay? And a lot of really, really good back attackers historically prefer the underhook side, okay? If you guys look at like some of the best guys, they prefer the underhook side. So that trick made a huge, huge difference in my finishing, and I hope it's going to be able to help you guys. Again, if you have trouble finishing from the underhook side, if that's something that happens to you, you go to pull the arm out, they put their head on the floor, just making this 2-second post with your fist right behind their ear is going to make a huge difference, okay? It's going to prevent them from putting their head on the floor, and you're going to have just enough time to punch the hands in place and finish. So we go over all these details and more in my back attack instruction on nogi, okay? You can find that on bjfanatics.com. I'll leave the links below for you in the bio. And thanks so much for watching, guys. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, leave your comments down in the comments section, and of course, make sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already. Thanks, guys.